YouTube, B Smokehouse back here with you. I've been gone for a little bit. I had my father passed, and so I haven't been making videos like I should be, but I'm back on my grind. I had to go down to Houston for a bit and make sure that my pops got taken care of. Now we back. Today is Mother's Day. Mother's Day 2025. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, right? Today in my household, here's what we're gonna be eating. I got 4 New York strips. They look pretty good. I like the fat content in these. I've went ahead and I've seasoned them down with rosemary salt. I only hit one side. We're gonna do what's known as a dry brine. Yes, they look wet, but that's only because probably about 5 minutes ago, I went ahead and I hit these down with some rosemary salt. Real quick, down and dirty video. Won't go too much in detail with this. New York strips, rosemary salt. There is a measurement as far as how much or how many pounds of meat you have to how much salt you're supposed to use. I generally sprinkle into my heart's content because I'm known to be heavy-handed with salt. Now, we're gonna get these flipped over. You can see that salt has started pulling marsh out of that meat, and it's gonna start pulling the rosemary flavor along with salt down to the center of that meat. There's no bone here, so no additional flavor to be provided by that bone. So here's what we're gonna do. Again, I don't need a binder. These are still pretty moist. Gonna start hitting them with that rosemary salt. Real simple. I'm doing it here. You can do it at your house. You can do this with chicken. You can do this with pork. Today, I just happen to be doing it with beef. My Mother's Day meal is going to consist of these steaks. We will be grilling them off. Probably gonna make a nice seasoned butter to accompany this. Don't know that I'm gonna go cowboy butter, but it might take some of those different things that cowboy butter gives us. Might go jerk with the seasoning. I don't know. It's just depending on how I'm feeling. All right. And again, we're not going that heavy. So this salt is grounded down kosher salt. You can use a little bit more than I could when these salt granules were normal style, right? One of the issues with using kosher salt is that those granules usually bounce everywhere, right? All right, so we're gonna get this here. These are gonna go back into my fridge for the next 2 or 3 hours. I wanna give that salt enough time to work through. Again, it's rosemary salt. I keep it here. It's almost time for a new batch. It stays in my fridge and has been in my fridge for the past 3 or 4 months. All right, you can see that salt has already started pulling my moisture. That's fine. These are gonna sit in my fridge. I'll bring you guys back for the next step. I'm probably not gonna show you guys the sides I'm making. This video will be about these pretty good looking New York strips. Stay tuned. All right, today we're gonna be on the smoker box of the Old Country. Again, there she is. Probably needs a cleaning. That might be my next video. I've got a split of post oak in there. And again, I use the Jealous Devil Max XXL Charcoal briquettes. I'm gonna let this burn down and give me some coals. As you can see, we got an unburned portion in there. Then I might stick another log on there. I'm gonna put some corn on here first, then we'll get busy with those steaks. Stay tuned. All right, I just took these steaks out. I'm gonna leave them out a good 30-45 minutes, let them start temper. Temper is the process of bringing a protein down to or about room temperature. One of the worst things you can do is stick this very cold meat on top of some hot charcoals. Also, look at the colors that we were able to get. It's a deep darker color than when we first started. And that's the whole osmosis process with that rosemary salt. I'll bring you guys back when we're gonna put these on. All right, I got that corn off of here. We're gonna go ahead and start getting these steaks on now. I do have a bit of flame. I'm gonna keep that in mind as I put these steaks down. These are the steaks. The only thing I've done, actually, let's get a better look on these. The only thing I've done is I dried them off with a paper towel. And wash this pan, and I'll be right back out, and I'll bring you guys along with me. Stay tuned. All right, let's see where we're at. I know it's hotter back here in this corner. They're not releasing yet. That's fine. Steaks are rather thin. That's fine as well. Let it do what it do. Move some of these charcoals around. I would like these to get done around the same time. That one thick one, almost positive, is going to take more time than the others. Okay, but that's smelling good. With that salt only. Alright. Don't want my camera to start overheating. That's why I've been turning it on and off. It's a hot one today, plus we're right over these charcoals. Smells good, smells like beef. We're pushing along 120, 125. They got like a minute or two left. I also like the crust on this one. Some of these others, because I think I started them around in an area that was not hot enough, didn't develop the type of crust that I want, but they all got a little crust on them, and that's fine. Yep. Look at these. Tastes delicious. Salty, but not overly salty. Alright. I'm getting ready to pull some of these smaller ones off, like this one's coming off. Then put it on there, let it rest. This other small one's coming off here. And let it rest. These other two got a few more minutes. I'll pull these off and I'll bring you guys inside. I didn't resting. I'm gonna go ahead and hit them with this compound butter. Main thing with these is that they're not dry. I really like this big one here, and I feel like because it was in an outer space and it was the largest one, we were able to get a bit of more crust. Not really concerned about getting those grate marks on there, however we have them. Just wanted to get a nice crust, and for the most part I was able to. Now these are New York strips, so that fat content isn't necessarily like it's not necessarily like a porterhouse or like a ribeye. But furthermore, it allows for this beef to remain beefy in flavor. I'm gonna let these come to rest. I might stick them in a warm oven, and I'll bring you guys back when I'm getting ready to slice into one. Stay tuned. Alright, here's our finished product. Again, this is a New York strip. Let's recap what we did. So I had a 4-pack of New York strips. I'm almost assured they were either choice or select. These were not prime. The fat content was not there to make these prime. I took them out. No trimming. I seasoned them with some homemade rosemary salt that I keep on hand. Had it for about last 4 to 5 months. I made it myself. Equal parts rosemary and a cup, maybe to a cup and a half of kosher salt, blend it together to the consistency that you like, and then put it in a Ziploc bag or a container for proper storage in your fridge. I got up early this morning. I did it all this morning instead of doing it overnight for the overnight dry brine. So this dry brine was only about 2.5 to 3 hours. I then started a fire on the firebox of my Old Country Wrangler using a split of post oak. When that post oak was able to calm down and give me some charcoal, I then went ahead and placed my meat on. Let's see what we have. So, you know, one of the things I am going to learn about cooking with wood is that, you know, wood has its own properties, unlike charcoal, meaning that you can get some uneven temps. You definitely gonna have some hot spots, and you just gotta work around those, right? So let's get in here and cut this open. All right, still pink in the center. It's looking pretty good. Can you see that? Let's back it up. All right, let me get some slices over here. Let's see what we're talking about. See that? My favorite about this is going to be those little fatted pockets. I like when those, because those have some char on it. I didn't mention, I also hit this with some compound butter that I made. I did not put that on camera. This is what I'm dipping this meat in now. I took some jerk seasoning, a wet jerk seasoning slash marinade, and combined it with some butter, some room temperature butter, mix it up, put it in some saran wrap, rolled it up to where it's rolled tight, and put it back in my fridge. Once these came off and were resting, I put that butter on top, put it in my oven, and let the broiler come on to melt that butter. So they're not dry by any means. Let's see what we got. Pretty good. That's a nice bite. Not overly salty. I feel like that rosemary salt, because it's been grinded down, it's real hard. It's really hard to over salt something. Now, this steak is, for my taste, cooked perfectly. I could have been a bit more rare than this. Again, I like my meat generally almost still moving. Looks pretty good. Guys, if you've made it this far in this video and you haven't already done so, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll be back uploading more frequently now that I'm back from being on the road. Till next video, Beast Smokehouse out.